Hi, my name is Jackie Rodriguez, and I'm a senior at St. Thomas Aquinas High School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I am also an Ambassador Girl Scout working on my Gold Award. For my award, I am making a career video to help high school students get a little insight on some professions. Enjoy. Today I'm here with Sarah Rupert. She is a graduate from UF with a BFA, and she graduated from NYU with an MA. She is the gallery director and also a photographer. Was this job what you expected to be?
It's definitely, I've had surprises, very welcomed and fun surprises. One thing I really enjoy about working in gallery spaces is, maybe not every day, but pretty regularly we have new, not problems, but new issues to deal with, a very different way of working, and we're always problem solving, whether that's trying to get something under budget because we're working with a very small budget as a nonprofit, or whether that's figuring out how to ship a truck full of work across the country in time to be shown at an exhibition that's opening in a week. It's always a lot of fun surprises and fun people.
About how many years does it take to graduate college to get this degree?
That's kind of a flexible answer. I did a BFA. It does and it can. Associates will take a couple of years. I did a BFA, which is a Bachelor of Fine Arts. That usually takes about 4 years. But depending on how you route your classes, I actually took 5 years. Depending on when you get into the art-specific program, in certain BFAs, the first couple of years are general requirements, and then you have an application process to get into the fine art concentrated program. And depending on if you do a semester abroad, which I did, and that bumps off your entire schedule, I would say between 4 and 5 years is the norm, with most people doing it in 4.
Is it easy to find a job right out of college?
I'm not sure. I didn't look right out of undergrad. As soon as I graduated from UF, I had already applied to graduate school. I knew very early on that I wanted to get a graduate degree. I wanted a day job that could support myself, and that's outside of being an artist, which I kind of had this idea that I couldn't support myself just doing art. And I think that really rings true, especially for emerging artists.
And what is the current starting salary for an artist right out of college?
That's a difficult question. I think it'll definitely depend on where you do find work and what you're doing. Artists get into a lot of different positions, whether that's art handling, which can sometimes be between $20 and $35 an hour. It's irregular work unless you are hired and find employment at a museum. Museums are great places to start off with, whether that's interning, paid internships, doing membership work. They have a ton of departments and a lot of turnover, and you get a learning experience along with your occupation, which I think is a really great starting off point for artists, for people who are interested in the arts but are not creatively inclined. And it's a really fun networking arena. You get to meet the artists, you get to meet art managers, you get to meet lecturers, scholars. Outside of museums, there are alternative art spaces that employ artists and art-related. There's also private employment that you can get into. I know a lot of artists who they have their own personal practice, and then on the side they have either decorative practices or they got really good at framing, so they have a framing store on the side, or pick up odd jobs here and there.
That's good. So back to your daily work day here. How many hours a day do you usually work, or days a week?
That's another interesting question. For my job, which is a very, I'd say, different or outside of the box job. Here at Girls Club, we're open 1 to 5, Wednesday to Friday. Those are our public hours, and we do honor appointments, whether that's on weekends or mornings or evenings. So I'm here on site probably about 30 hours a week. And then I'll be doing evening events or off-site meetings or work-related social events, or traveling that can pull it above and beyond 30.
So you also said that you host many tours here, so your job does require a lot of interaction with people?
Definitely. Most art positions place a heavy emphasis on interpersonal relationships, whether that's giving public tours for kids, for teens, for adults, for people in the arts, for people outside of the arts. I think it's really important to communicate well and to communicate to the audience that's at hand. When we're working with our teen workshops, it's a very different environment than when we're working with, say, seasoned artists who are doing continual, professional development education. So I think it is important to, especially in the arts, especially in the contemporary arts, when things can be very hard to understand at first, to be able to communicate with a wide array of people.
That's very important.
I think in other industries too, arts and non-arts alike.
So in the arts, is there a significant more amount of men or women, or is it normal?
Gender ratios, I don't feel too comfortable defining, but what I've experienced at least, and this is my personal experience, in college all of our art classes were predominantly women, whether that was in the art studio classes, definitely the art history classes. In the professional field, I think it's really a very equal mix of men and women practicing artists. Of course, in collections and in museums, as several other entities have pointed out, like the Guerrilla Girls, who, very, very cool group, have pointed out there's been historical inequalities in representation between men and women. That's in collections, that's in history books, that's in institutional organizations. I think contemporary art is uniquely able to not bridge the divide, but to get a closer ratio to what is the norm than some older institutions or modern art museums who are working with a history that they can't really change.
Is there anything else in your occupation that is that we've missed that you'd like to tell us?
I think education, which we did touch upon, is a really important part of operating a nonprofit space that has a focus on public engagement and community involvement. I think to understand the arts, you not only have to know about it, which is why, especially in contemporary art, there's this really big invisible barrier that a lot of audiences feel. And to fix that, you need education. You need to teach audiences either how to look at a piece or how to read it, or what they should be not feeling, because you never want to dictate what a person should feel or experience, but how to read it so that it's not something that's intimidating or something that's almost making fun of someone who doesn't know what's going on, which conceptual and contemporary art tends to do when you're less familiar with what's going on in the painting or in the installation, which confuses a lot of novices. So I think not only providing education at different levels, which might mean having information on the website somebody can look at, having gallery notes here at the gallery that somebody could peruse, or having deeper education opportunities like perhaps a regular class, a lecture series, a workshop series. I think the more people know about the art, the more they're able to appreciate it, and that's a livelihood of the arts that I think institutions now are really getting a better grasp on.
All very interesting. It was very nice to meet you, and I'm sure that we all learned a lot from Sarah. Thank you.